Yo, 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 yo. What's cracking, guys? It's your boy, Christian Electrician, up in this hot garage. And I got a couple innovative Dewalt tools that I personally, as an electrician, am going to use pretty much daily, especially if I'm working in a building. If you're watching this video in the future, I have the DWANRRIR. The DWANRRIR. This is the Dewalt Impact Connect. The Impact Connects connect to impacts. And what we have here is a nut runner attachment. This nut runner attachment allows you to connect this to your impact. Now, why would I care about having a nut runner attachment? Because me as an electrician, when I'm running racks and I have all my conduits going home to my home run for my electrical panel, I use all thread, which is secured. Usually you put a rack of unistrut across, and then you use washers and lock washers and nuts to secure your strut so that you can have a nice trapeze to run your rack. Now, you run your rack and you have multiple conduits. This applies to electricians, this applies to plumbers, HVAC, people utilizing strut to carry pipes, conduits, and copper lines. So, I will be unboxing this and opening this up and going through the various sizes and all that kind of stuff. Also, a pipe deburring tool. Now, what pipes or conduits need to be deburred? EMT, electrical metallic tubing, PVC, copper pipes, hard and soft copper pipes, PVC, coated PVC, stainless, black iron, and EMT. So I'm going to open this up. I have EMT we're going to try this out on. We're going to use the Impact Connect on all thread. So if you're watching this in the future, this is a live unboxing. This is live, it's unfiltered. I interact with people when I go live on here. And yeah, if you want to see more cleaner cut videos, what you're going to want to do is subscribe, and you'll have access to all my regular videos. And yeah, so, but I do go live, so if you ever have a question for me about what it's like to be an electrician, how to go through an electrical apprenticeship, you know, what's it like to take the journeyman certification test, become state certified, what's it like being an apprentice to journeyman to lead to foreman, those kinds of things, feel free to subscribe and ask me questions, okay? I'm here for you guys, so if you've come across this video, welcome. All right, now let me pull up my YouTube so I can see the comments here. Nice. So I got YouTube pulled up. I'm just waiting for the comments to load. Hope everyone's having an awesome Friday. Hey guys, it's Friday. So while these comments wait to load, let me see. Oh, I think we got the comments going. And we do. What's up? We got Raphael. We got Ponch. What's up? We got Raphael and Ponch pretty much saying what's up in the chat. How's it going, guys? How we doing? Let me turn on all messages. There we go. I'm always so excited to come and jump on live stream that I forget to drink water. What's up, Brandon? Brandon, you hate me. We have been summoned. What is up, Craig? Craig, you have been summoned. Oh, Brandon. Brandon, you don't hate. Brandon, you're trying to elevate. Okay? Now, how did I get some of these cool tools? I had to elevate and get close to the one true king. If you guys know who I'm talking about, let me hear amen in the chat. So, obviously, I'm going to always give glory to God and Jesus, man. But, what's up, CJ? But, man, if you're working in the trades, all you got to do is buy one tool a paycheck. If you're going to buy like a $350 bandsaw, okay, maybe that might be your tool for the month if you're just starting off. But you kind of just want to stretch out your tool buying. One tool a check. All right? But what do you guys want to see first? Do you guys want to see the pipe deburring tool? This can deburr EMT, PVC, conduit. Or do you guys want to see the Nutrunner attachment unboxed first? You guys let me know. The pipe reamer? You got it. All right, guys. So we're going to take a look at this box. What does this box say? What is this tool? Why is it beneficial? First of all, I was going to go live on Wednesday night. In fact, both of these tools came in. This guy came in probably around 6 o'clock, 5 to 6 o'clock. And that's the time I usually go live. I'm over here on the Pacific Standard Time, West Coast. So, oh yeah, that's cool, Raphael. Right on. What an awesome creature, man. Those owls. So I was gonna go live, guys. If you can't tell by my coughing, guess what I got on Wednesday, guys? I was feeling like crap. I was at work, and man, I just felt so sluggish and tired. And so I stopped at a gas station on my break on my way back to the job site, and I picked up a couple of those electrolyte rehydration drinks. And so I started to drink those electrolyte rehydration drinks. What are they called? Pedialyte. And as I feel like I need these things, because I'm just feeling like, man, maybe I don't have enough electrolytes, or maybe I sweated it all out. You know, it's hot over here in California in the summer, and in the Central Valley, and I think it's like desert area. Anyhow, so I started looking at these drinks, and I'm like, it says scientific formula on it. I'm like, okay, so I start drinking, and I look at the ingredients. Dang thing has like 31 grams of sugar, and also it has a red dye, red 40. If you guys know anything about red 40, there seems to be some type of link between red 40 and ADHD. So I was just kind of like, wow, this is not good. And I was like, you know what? I just need the rehydration. This is better than anything else they have here. So I just drank it. I was kind of desperate, and I felt so sluggish. Like, as I was standing up at work, I felt like I was like just a little dizzy. Like, I felt like I was gonna pass out, but I can rectify that by, you know, getting up a little slower. And I was like, man, I didn't go to I didn't get that good of sleep, so I wonder what must be wrong. Well, I drank both of those to stay afloat at work, but by the time I got home, it's about a 35-40 minute drive for me, depending on traffic. Man, I'm sitting on my couch and I'm just starting to feel my whole body's just starting to ache really bad. And I'm like, man, what's going on? I was like, don't tell me I'm sick again. So I go up into my cabinet and I see a COVID test. I take a COVID test. Sure enough, not only on both of my nostrils, I'm bleeding in both of my nostrils. I'm doing that test and it's coming out pink. I take the test. Sure enough, I have COVID. So next thing you know, I see that I have COVID. I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, hopefully this thing's wrong. I got a project I got to button up by Friday, and I'm just like, well, not 100% button up because we're still waiting on equipment, but I still wanted to get some stuff done with material. We're still ahead of the project, but I just wanted to finish this week off strong because we're supposed to be starting another one on Monday until we get the equipment. So I was like, oh man. Then I got the most severe fatigue. You know, my body had a fever. I ended up, excuse my language, I ended up vomiting twice, like hardcore. Like, you know, cartoon vomiting. I don't mean to be so explicit, but like it was bad. And yeah, that was bad. So basically, I'll get to your guys' questions right now. Just give me a second. So that was Wednesday. Oh yeah, and I had a fever. I couldn't keep anything in my stomach because my body was so hot that anything, drinking water was no bueno. And I was just so fatigued. All my body, my joints were aching so bad. And I remember talking to some guy. He didn't work for our company, but he was I talked to him for like an hour. And then next thing you know, he ends up telling me he had COVID. And I was just like, bro, I just literally talked to you for like an hour and you're telling me you had COVID? And he's like, well, I didn't say it like that, you know, but like, he was like, oh, I got rid of it. Like he figured out a quick way to get rid of it. But it doesn't matter if you had COVID. It's still going to be contagious for the next like 2 to 8 days. So I was just like, all right. I'm like, hopefully I don't get COVID. Sure enough, what did I get? COVID. So I've been all day yesterday. I sat my butt on that couch, took two naps, slept in, took 2 naps, and went to bed. And I got up at 5:30 this morning, like I usually do, every Monday through Friday. And I was able to drink some coffee today, you know, keep it light. Had some chicken noodle soup, had some ramen. You know, I still don't feel 100%. I'm still coughing. But yeah, I'm making my way through, man. So, all right, now let's read some of these comments. You know what? I don't think I'm able to see how many people are watching on this side. All right. So we're gonna unbox this pipe reamer. Yay, Dev, what's up? Raphael just called me Christina. Chris says, compact bandsaw blade pops off when I cut unistrut. What do I do? Oh, okay, I got you. Are you still live? If you're still on this live, Chris, I'll tell you what to do. Just comment again. Let me know you're still live because I was talking for a while. Marco says Mexican drills. Dewalt, the best Mexican drill. You're on a roll, Raphael. Yeah, Alex, I don't know, man. I was freaking wiped out, dude. I was vomiting, high fever, body aches. Yeah, I'm gonna get retested on Sunday before I go back to work. I don't want to get anyone sick. I'll probably take one Saturday and then have another 24 hours clearance, because you buy those packs and they come in like 3 to 5 packs. So I'll probably test Saturday, get a 24-hour confirmation, take another test, boom, be ready to rock and roll. Am I sponsored by Dewalt? Says I'm gonna keep it real. Nope, I'm not sponsored by Dewalt. I'm just I tested out thousands of dollars worth of Milwaukee Flex and Dewalt, and Dewalt seems to be where it's at. What's up, Nathan? How you doing, man? David Davis says, I got engaged to Samantha in Italy 2 weeks ago. Right on, David. Congratulations to you and Samantha. Brett Skinner says, DeWalt helps make America. Yes, it sure does. DeWalt is owned by Stanley Black & Decker. They have 50 manufacturing plants in the United States. So they sure do benefit the USA a lot more than companies like Milwaukee and Flex. Flex has no U.S. manufacturing. Milwaukee has small U.S. manufacturing. And they're owned by China, so. Christian, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? I don't know. I guess with a Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Pop thing, well, first of all, don't you guys remember when they had those, forgive me, but the Native American with the arrow shooting up and there's a star? Well, some of my older siblings told me that if I saved up a bunch of those wrappers that had the star, that I would go get some free Tootsie Roll Pops. So I went to a Long's Drugs after I had like 10 of them saved up or something, and they're like, no, we don't do that. And I felt dumb, so I never did that again. But how many licks? I guess for a Tootsie Roll Pop, if you're just tuning in, I don't talk about this kind of stuff. But how many licks? I don't know. I just keep going until I just get bored. I don't think I've ever fully had the patience to just lick it to death and then enjoy the Tootsie Roll. I just end up crunching that thing, and I got the COVID, Southern mofo. What's up, Dano? Man, is what's his name not here anymore? I wanted to answer his question. What's that dude's name? Chris Bronco? Dang, dude. I would have told him how to save his bandsaw. You guys want to know? You guys want me to answer his question anyway? On how to not get your bandsaw blade to pop off? Who else wants to know that? What's up with the new tool right there? I'm about to open that thing. Build a thing, says L Belcher. Ah, nice, Raphael. Whenever you see Dewalt, I come to mind. Right on. I'm trying to change the nation, man. Can you explain how others do the same as you, but say other products are better? Ooh, that's a good question, Gravedigger. So, a lot of people like sociological experiments. I took some college courses. I've seen some things, and I've seen some studies, and in social studies and like sociological experiments. A lot of times when people come and they're one person and they enter an environment where there's a lot of people, and a lot of people say, hey, this is the right way, or this is the right thing, or this is the right behavior, a lot of people will assimilate to conform to the majority group. And they just do so because they observe, they use their five senses, they see what's going on, they're hearing stuff, they're feeling, they're seeing how things are going on. And what they end up doing is they assimilate to that. And if you don't know, you're just going to try to assimilate. Who's the alpha male? Who's Who's the beta males? You know, who's running the show? Who's in charge? Who's going to approve? Who's going to help me get a raise? Who's going to teach me something? Okay, he uses those tools. Well, I'm going to follow him. He dresses that way. I'm going to dress that way. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have something true within here that's going to help propel you, and you're going to be able to withstand following into that default of the majority of the group, of the crowd. So for example, Milwaukee has a huge platform at Home Depot. Home Depot sells Milwaukee, not Lowe's. They sell Milwaukee at Home Depot, and boy do they love to advertise them. So the advertising at Home Depot is like overkill, and you know, they just do good at advertising. And so a lot of people come into Home Depot and they see Milwaukee and they're like, oh, this must be the best tool, because you got like Makita and Dewalt in the corner, and you got Milwaukee on every end cap. But what people don't know is Milwaukee sold out to China in 2005. They're owned by TTI. And all these guys, like, their niche things are testing out power tools. Their niche things are, I mean, it's not so niche because so many people test out power tools. So their thing is like, oh, I like testing out power tools. There are guys, they like to work with their hands, or they're in the trades, so they like to review power tools. For me, you know how it's like, you go into the grocery store and you have like 40 different options for ice cream. You know what I like to do? I like to go, man, which one's actually the best one? Who actually takes their time to make quality ice cream? Back at. Is the stream back? Is the stream back? Is it too late? Is it too late? Do we need to start over? Do we need to start the stream over, guys? Yeah, I'm back at it, guys. My bad. I had to cool my phone down. Man, I wish I could see how many people are watching. Let me see if I can go to sorry about the difficulties, Matthew. Shout out to you. Are you living in Australia right now, Matthew? Sorry guys, getting the live stream pulled up here. Getting the live stream pulled up here. All right guys. What we have here is the pipe deburring tool. It's the DCE 710B, okay? So what is this pipe deburring tool going to do? It's going to help you when you deburr. Now, what is deburring? If you cut a pipe, typically a pipe or a conduit or copper lines, when they come from a manufacturer, they're going to be smooth. They're going to be factory. They're going to come to you in a usable manner, typically speaking. When you cut your copper line, your PVC, and these pipes and conduits that I'm referencing, they either hold water, pressurized lines, or electrical components like wires, and these pipes or these conduits, they're raceways for either water or electrical wires. So when you cut the pipe, in order to secure a fitting on there or to protect your wire, you have to deburr your conduit. It's important that you cut straight and not at an angle, because you want your fitting to fit and grab on to as much meat of that conduit that it can. So looks like the diameter range is 3/8 to 2 inch. So from 3/8, I think of skinny, like little copper lines. Electricians, we don't use 3/8. We hardly ever use 1/2 inch. We use about 3/4, 1 inch, 1.25 inch. But going all the way up to 2 inches with a deburring tool like this is actually pretty practical. It's not too often that I have to run 4 or 5 inch. That's if I'm running stuff underground. But usually PVC, I have an easy time just deburring by hand, really. Especially if I have gloves on. And I have no problem getting my file out to do a 4-inch deburr. So we got some no load speeds of 80 RPMs on low, 110 on medium, and 150 RPMs, nearly double than low for your high speed. So we got a 3-speed selection. Let's go ahead and take this out of the box. This does come with a tool connect. So you could be a site manager, right? And have a bunch of tool connect on all your tools. If anyone tries to jack your $250 tool, I got a free battery with this, by the way. I think I got it from like Ace. I always keep my manufacturer first glance at this, it's okay. So you got your inside ream here, and I believe I want to say your outside ream here. Looks like one blade on each side. So you have your inside and your outside. We're going to confirm that. I got my belt. Look, this is what I love about Dewalt. You have a belt clip for just about every single tool they make, man. They understand. We don't want to pick our tools up, put them down, pick them up, put them down, pick them up, put them down. When I pick my tool up, I want to put it right on my hip. So you get your belt clip on and you slap it on your hip. And you take it off your hip, you use it, and you put it back on your hip until you're done using it. Then you put it away. Freaking Milwaukee and Flex, a lot of their tools don't even have freaking belt clips on them. So we'll get that belt clip on in a little bit. I got the 5 amp hour battery they gave me charging. But let's go ahead and take this Dewalt. Let's take this 8 amp hour battery. So that's speed 1. Let's go over some instructions to make sure we want to use this right. We don't want to damage brand new tool. So battery Battery release button, okay. Trigger switch, speed selector. Is it variable speed? No, it is not. This tool is not variable speed. You cannot lock it. It has low RPM. You do not want to be threading 2-inch conduit, electrical metallic tubing, and have this thing going full bore 3,800 RPMs. You want it slow and controlled. Now they'll probably specify you know, what recommended speeds they have for PVC. I'm imagining PVC is going to be high speed. Copper might be a little more medium. Maybe EMT and your other more difficult conduits or pipes are going to be a little bit lower. Okay, so it says deburring the pipe is A and E. So figure A, here's figure A. And figure D, okay. So inside of the pipe, okay, I see it. And outside. That's basically all I needed to know, guys. Okay, it takes an Allen key. You're going to use an Allen key to take out the blade if you need to swap out the blade. Make sure the blade is in there. Comes with the Allen wrench on the side. Let's see if we need to take that blade out and flop it around. Okay, it does have a shut-off feature. If you're running this power tool for longer than 5 minutes at one time, it's gonna shut off. Honestly, if you're using a power tool for 5 minutes consecutively, it's gonna cause severe overheating, and especially if you're reaming conduit or pipe, you don't need to be reaming something for 5 minutes long. So that's pretty generous to have a 5-minute shut off. Let's just take this blade out to take a look at it. Never read the instructions. That's probably why I run work and you don't. And if you do run work, oh, is that Wayne? Every time this guy comes on here, man. Never read the instructions, says Wayne. That's why I run work and you don't, Wayne. Okay, so we got 2 set screws. I mostly just want to kind of see and kind of show you guys how this is, how you navigate this. Okay, so you got the blade was in the right orientation. You got 2 cutting sides. This thing isn't the sharpest, but it's pretty stout. And I think their reasoning behind that is you're not really cutting, you're deburring. So you just want to make sure that you have a smooth edge. So let me get this back in the correct orientation here. Which reminds me, whenever you take something apart, you should probably take a picture of it. Like at work, whenever someone takes something apart, they don't know how to put it back together, it's like, dude, did you take a picture of it? No, take a picture of it next time. Okay, there we go. Smoothie. Sure. Huh? What? It's right there? It is? You brought it in here? I think I just got hooked up with the smoothie, guys. I think I just got hooked up with the smoothie, guys. All right, let me get these 2 set screws back in here. If you guys are just tuning in, we got the new Dewalt pipe reaming deburring tool. Make sure this is nice and tight. Tight like a tiger. Boom. Let's go ahead and put our Allen key back. Allen key fits nice in there. It's gripped pretty good. Pretty flush here, so you're not going to be hitting it. Okay. Now let's check out the recommended RPMs. RPM usage. Let's check out the correct RPM usage on these. Alright, it's in a different language. I gotta go back. So you can put a chip in there. It does come with the bell hook. Usually they have recommendations for their RPMs. I just want to see if they have some here, and we'll get right into action, guys. Okay, I'm not seeing any. Maybe they have some on the box. All right, maybe you just use common sense. All right, so let's get some conduit. Let's take this old dusty 1/2 inch. Let's get you guys closer. Let's get you guys up close on the action. What's up? How we doing, everyone? Thanks for joining to tonight's Friday night live stream. Hope everyone is had a blessed week. It's Friday, guys. It's Friday. Right on. All right, so take a look at that 1/2 inch. You bent your 3-point saddle, so you're nice and happy about your 3-point saddle. Let me see if I can give you guys a good angle. There we go. A little better. Let me slowly back out here. Not entirely clear. We can get a side look. Maybe if I get a little closer. Slightly back. We're going to find the right angle. Not quite there. Maybe if I put my hand. There we go. Feels a little weird to hold my hand like that, to be honest. All right, guys, let's ream this thing. Yeah. I don't got my clear safety glasses. Guess I'm gonna have to use this one. Here we go. Okay, ream the inside, trim the outside. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the slow speed, it reams it. Wow, it did a pretty good job, but I'm gonna try this on high speed. That was speed 3. Oh yeah, there we go. Speed 3 is where it's at, dude. This is a little 1/2 inch stuff. Let's see how it did. Quick little ream. Not too shabby. I feel like it needs a little more. I could see the shrapnels coming off. Wow, I think the blade is so sharp that it really bevels. You got to become an expert at feel when it comes to this, because it just, you're gonna want to make sure you have a nice straight cut. I might have cut this last one with a hacksaw or something, but hold on, guys, it's all dark outside. Oh, I forgot I had a smoothie. Wow. Hey, my wife hooked me up with the smoothie, guys. Shout out to my wifey. Shout out to my wifey. Deburring, conduit, and drinking a smoothie. Deburring, conduit, and drinking a smoothie. Awesome, Justin. She's doing good. She's doing good. We got like, it's almost going to be like 5 weeks. Got the baby shower tomorrow. What's going down? Man, and we already got the 5 amp hour battery charged, man. Whoo, that was quick. All right. Where's that little atomic bandsaw? There it is. Haven't used this thing since I tried it out. All right, we got a fully charged 5 amp hour battery. We got this Dewalt atomic, a speed 5. All right, let's get a nice clean cut. Let's see how practical this thing is. Here, let me give you guys the full scope. Give you guys the full scope here. How many people we got watching? 187. What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight? Hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. Thank you for taking time to see what I got going on in the stream today. We're deburring some conduit with the new Dewalt pipe reamer. We're gonna take this bandsaw and let's check this out in real time. So what you want to do is you want to start your bandsaw. You always start your bandsaw, get it going. You do not put metal on the bandsaw and then pull the trigger. There was a gentleman who asked on the stream earlier about why does his blade keep coming off his bandsaw? Well, make sure it's nice and tight. Make sure you got this tightened, that the blade's locked down and it's securely on there. Once you've securely locked the blade in, you want to start your bandsaw. You can get your material that you're cutting close, but when you cut it, you want to make sure that you're at least above. So you start it and then you slowly drop the weight of the tool onto it. So you slightly push and you let the weight of the tool do the job. I got a 5 amp hour battery. This is a bandsaw. This got a little weight to it, okay? It's got like 5 pounds, it feels like. So it will cut. Gravity will go down, it will cut. So you just guide it. You just slowly guide it and let the weight of the tool do it, okay? So start it above. Okay, just like that, all right? Let me get a straighter cut here. Okay, now that we got that cut, let's ream this bad boy. Bandsaws, you don't really got to ream much because they're a smoother cut. Sheesh. That's pretty much it right there, guys. This thing's pretty delicate because it's brand new, but it's pretty darn straight, man. Trying to give you guys a good look. Let me see if I scoot back a little bit. Hold on, I know what to do here. I know what to do here. This is how we're gonna do this. This is how we're gonna do this right here. Haha. How about them apples? See that? Not bad. I'd run my wire through that. I'd run my wire through that. So let's try this again, a real world application. You got your bandsaw right here. You know, this is 1/2 inch. This is baby stuff. This is baby stuff right here. So you get, here we go, boom. Oh man, my pipe's too long. Let me ream it. Cut my conduit. Boom. Let me ream it. Shoot, man. Dang, that ain't bad. What do I do with that box? Oh. I look all weird with these sunglasses on. I can't see nothing. Yep, there we go. Wow. That's pretty good. Let's try 3/4 now. Let's try some 3/4. So this is 3/4 EMT. We got a 3-point saddle right here. Just a little scrap piece of conduit I got. We're gonna cut this bad boy, all right? All right. So let's do a quick cut. Test on brass pipe. I don't got no brass pipe, bro. I wish I did for this test, but okay. Cut it. Shoot, man. Does a pretty good job. Deburrs it, man. Wow. With the bandsaw. With the bandsaw, it's gonna deburr it nice and quick, man. Let's try. I mean, what I would recommend for you guys. Say you're just starting out, right? Do you need this? No. Here's why. You got to start off with the basics, man. You got to get used to hand tools. Like some guys like to use the impact and put the wire nut, you know, freaking attachments, and they like to just spin that wire nut on there, but they don't know how to connect copper yet. And when they're making up their wires, they're just slapping on these Temu wire nut attachments, and they're just spinning all the wires together so quick. It's like, dude, just chill out. Yeah, you're supposed to give it 12 to 15 turns per wire nut to secure a firm attachment, but I'm old school, man. I use my linemans. I make up my wire, my copper like that with linemans, and then I put my wire nut on there and I spin it 12 to 15 times. But you got to get used to doing it 12 to 15 times with that, but make sure you got a firm connection, and then you can pull out your impact and use those things. So when it comes to something like this, a $200 tool, this is more for someone that's been in the trade, because a young guy who doesn't have carpal tunnel, who doesn't have hand cramping, who doesn't have, you know, any issues when you're in your early 20s, mid 20s. I'm in my mid 30s. I've been in construction and maintenance since I was 20 years old. So I'm 34, man. I've been doing this for 14 years, you know, and so this is the first time I had something like this. I've had some impact attachments, but those things usually don't last that long because they're like 20, 30 bucks. So I've always had my hand reamer, my Klein reamer. Matter of fact, I still got my day one Klein reamer. And I just use that, boom. And then on bigger conduit, I use a file. But can this save time? Let's try it again. You guys time it, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I could get a little more. Pretty good, man. Not bad. It works pretty good. All right. So let's see what else. So I got some PVC. Hold on, guys. $257 people watching. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. How we doing tonight? Everybody tired from work this week? You got Friday. Tonight's your first night off. For most of you guys work Monday through Friday. And if today's your Monday, let it be a fun day. Man, speaking of Dewalt, look at this cool little speaker, man. Look at this cool little speaker. I bumped one of my little scratches right now, so I had to do a little electrician band-aid. But look at this. Look at that. Cool. Job site speaker, and it connects to your phone so you can talk. It's got a mic. So you're right there working, you know. You're not killing the whole job site with your genre of music. Hold on, guys. Let me drink my hardcore gangster drink. My wife made me a healthy smoothie right now. That's all I drink, really, man. Water, coffee, energy drinks, and smoothies. Well, you don't have to have it next to your head. You could put it on the bottom of your shirt or on your sleeve. Yeah, but I don't need to micromanage them. That was out of pocket right there. Thanks, George. Yeah, I don't need to micromanage. He's hanging out with me all day. Blueberry smoothie? You know what? This thing tastes good, man. She usually puts spinach, kale, some type of fruit in there, sometimes strawberry, blueberry, carrots, you know, water. But it tastes bomb, man. I think it's to saying your name's Rat. Are you an electrician named Christian, or are you an electrician that practices Christianity? Both. My first name's Christian. I used to go by a nickname, but that's what changed my life, man. I grew up in the system as a young kid, you know. My mom and dad, they abandoned me at one point. My dad was abusive, you know, and I became a Christian, you know. And that's what helped me. That's what changed the trajectory of my life. And everyone's going to have that worldview. Every time I talk about this, people are going to jump off, okay? But I can never be unashamed for who I am. You know what I'm saying? And if only one person stayed because I was a Christian, I mean, I got to be faithful. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you guys know I'm a man of integrity than a man who's not. So, and if you love Jesus, let me hear it in the chat, man. But basically, yeah, I'm both, man. My first name's Christian, and I'm an electrician. So. No, rat. I'm just no. I didn't feel like you had any qualms. I think you were just seeking clarity. But I just have to speak to the larger audience, because you know, a lot of people don't want to hear that. But man, I'm always gonna keep it true. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna give myself all the glory, right? In the Bible it says, stay humble. Remember, and you know, if you're prideful, you're gonna fall. That's why I stay humble. You know what I mean? Everything I have is because of God. So it's all glory to God. And, you know, God has truly blessed me, man. And, you know, I remember looking back on my childhood and just thinking like, man, this is so hard. How can someone go through this, you know? And then I remember seeing my older brother who had 5 brain tumors. And he stopped growing at the age of 12. And as mad as I would be about being homeless as a kid, being abandoned, I would always think of him, how he went through that, and he put his faith in God the whole time. And he always had faith in God, man. So whenever I just felt like I didn't want to, you know, be around anymore, and just really like in a dark place and that kind of stuff, and I let my environment dictate my feelings, when I would think of him, I felt like I had no excuse, man. And at age 20, I decided to clean up my act, stop living in insanity, that cycle of just repeating over and over insanity. And when I accept Christ into my heart and I stopped ignoring him, I remember I'd be going places and I would just feel God trying to reach out to me, and I would ignore him, man. And I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna do me. And doing me got me in a lot of trouble. So, or I went through a lot of difficulty I shouldn't have. But yeah, man, now I'm mid-30s. I'm in my mid-30s, man. And I look back these last decade and a half, and God is amazing, man. God will take you from absolutely nothing, a nobody, a high school dropout, and you could go and become getting your master's degree in college, man. Being at the top tier of whatever career you choose to be in, man. So God can do amazing things. All right. So I'm always going to talk about Jesus. I'm always going to give praise to God. You got to believe in something. You're going to believe in evolution, or you're going to believe in some other type of religion. For me, there's only one God, there's only one way, there's only one truth, and that's Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And the truth shall set you free, okay? All right. So you guys want to see some PVC cuts? Joe Dirt said, where the Dewalt at, man? He said, where's the Dewalt at, man? How do you guys pronounce it? Do you guys pronounce it number 1? Dewalt? Do you guys say Dewalt? Or do you guys say number 2, Dewalt? Number 1, Dewalt. Dewalt, where they emphasize the E. Dewalt. Or number 2, DeWalt. DeWalt. Number 3 says Dennis. What's number 3? Big J says DeWalt. Joe Dirt says Dewalt. Stunt says DeWalt. Gustavo says number 2, DeWalt. That's how I say it. I say it DeWalt, but you know, I don't know. Maybe the name, maybe it is probably pronounced DeWalt, like D and Walt, like maybe that stands for like the Walt and whatever Walt stood for back in the day, you know? Back when they were like pilgrims or pioneers or something, you know? 2 divided by 2, 3 minus 5. Okay. Amen, Ponch. Ponch representing. Yeah, Joder says Walt like Walt Disney. There you go, Gustavo. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say Dewalt. Oh, Milwaukee was 3, Dennis. All right, let's cut some PVC. Okay. So usually I deburr PVC by hand. You guys see all that crap on there? I usually deburr PVC by hand. I usually just go like this. That's usually how I deburr PVC. If I don't have a clean cut on it, I usually just recut it. But that's usually how I deburr PVC. So if all you're doing is PVC, would you need a tool like this? Probably not. But let's do another cut and let's check it out. Okay, I'm gonna leave it intact just like that. Is that quicker? I tried to just do it. Wow, that's quicker. Couple stragglers. I did it pretty fast. Not bad. Not bad at all, pretty good. So it does PVC, it does EMT. It's pretty good, man. It'll do even bigger stuff. 3/8 all the way up to 2 inch. I wish I had some 2 inch EMT here. But it does copper, hard and soft copper, PVC, CPVC, stainless, black iron, and EMT. So black iron, man. So I'm thinking plumbers, HVAC, electricians, they're using this. Tool weight, just bare tool, is 4.3 pounds. So you're talking with the battery, we're talking about 5 to 6 pounds. So you get a little 6 pound dumbbell curl action. Yeah, they probably do make different blades for different materials. Let me see if they say anything about this blade. But I mean, it's pretty cool, man. It's got a belt clip on it. You can have it on your hip, or you can have it hanging on your cart or something like that. And yeah, you could use it to ream. Hey, what's up, Budsville? A multi-tool. Well, I'm always gonna push Dewalt. Now Milwaukee has a multi-tool, right? And here's the thing, yet again, this is the fuel version. This is the fuel oscillating multi-tool. So you have to turn it on like this, and you turn it off like that. It's like a switch. You can put it on automatic speed, which it lowers the RPM to probably about, I don't know, somewhere around like 15,000 or 18,000 or something. I think it has a max of 20. It's been a long time since I looked at it, but so you can have it on automatic until where it feels tension and then it ramps up, or you could just put it to speed 10 if you want it to just be going fast speed the whole time. If you want more delicate stuff, speed 2 or whatever. But you got to turn the switch on and then turn it off. Now with the Dewalt, let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Hold on, let me get my, I see the atomic. Let me get the one I take to work. Let me open up this drawer. I gotta organize my bins again. Now this does take a little nut. This takes a nut and a screw. You can obviously put a belt clip on this. I have not put it on. I'm actually ashamed of myself for not putting it on. But you have your 3 speeds here. You got your 1, 2, and 3. Your low, medium, high. But with the Dewalt, you have faster blade changes by just doing this. You just pull this and you put your blade in, and then that's it. Done. Also, it has a variable speed trigger, so when you let go of the trigger, it stops working unless you lock it in. When you lock it in, it's gonna stay. It's gonna stay on until you tap the trigger again. But some people like the variable speed trigger here, and turning it on and shutting it off. You know, so Dewalt. Hey, that's number 3. But yeah, I like the Dewalt, man. It's practical. But if you're going to be cutting, if you're going to be making cuts with the Milwaukee all day long, where's that Milwaukee at? There it is. I do like the length, right? The length, you know, if you're going to be making cuts. The blade change is a little annoying because you have to use a flathead, unscrew this just about all the way off, and then you stick your blade in, get it at the right angle, and then you have to tighten it back down. Now, some people just do it hand tight, so you could probably get away doing it hand tight, but if you want to make sure it's firmly on there, you're going to want to bite down a little more with your flathead. The switch is annoying. If I'm going to use this all day long, it might be a little better. However, for an electrician like me, I use this right here because variable speed, as soon as I let go of the trigger, it shuts off. If I want to lock it on, I just got to lock the button and it goes. Also, the blade changes are super quick, dude. That's all you're doing for your blade change. And this thing is spring tight. So, boom, you just pull that back, pull your blade out, put your blade to the side this way, facing down, facing up, diagonal, whatever you want to do, and lock it in. Super simple to use, man. Am I a residential electrician? No, mostly commercial, industrial as well. Only time I'm doing residential work is when I'm helping people with something at their house, usually. Bye, Eric. I don't know. I haven't even seen anyone. I haven't even seen anyone named. Oh, there's. Oh, he's getting his messages blocked for some reason. If the mods are blocking your messages, you guys are probably acting out of line. So that's why. That's why they're gonna block your message if you're wrecking it for everyone else. Okay. All right, guys. So up next, we have the Dewalt Nutrunner attachment. I got all thread right here with a nut on there that we can try and get rocking and rolling. Well, let me turn on my live chat. Ooh, Kurt brought up a good point, and that's another tool that Milwaukee makes where it won't stand on the battery. And I find that highly annoying. First of all, you're not giving me a belt clip yet again. And when I try to make this stand, I'm even using an 8 amp hour battery, guys. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. I got an 8 amp hour battery. Please stay. It won't stay, guys. Now, this is the cool thing about a Dewalt. You can use like a little baby 2 amp hour battery. Let me grab a small battery. Here's a little baby 2 amp hour battery. Look at that. Boom, stands up. Got some belt clip, boom. See that? Variable speed, guys, you hear that? That's a 2 amp hour battery. It's not even a power stack or nothing. The most simple 2 amp hour battery they make. Variable speed trigger. You can't do that with the Milwaukee. You have to use the speed adjuster. So they both have their strengths and their weaknesses. For me, it's the practical stuff, man. It's like some stuff's cool, but if you can't even be practical, like, so now guess what? I have to lay my tool down on the blade. I gotta lay my tool down on the blade. But nope, guess what happens? Boom, right there. It's fine. I'm not messing up my blade. Yeah, but I hold my finger on low speed. Yeah, hey, Mike. Low, high, low, high, low, medium, low. Look how low that is. You hear that? Can you guys even hear that? It's literally running. I got it locked on low right there. High, low. High, low. High, low. High, low. Better than a switch. Alright guys, so let's take a look at this Nutrunner attachment. So it's supposed to be 3 times faster than running nuts by hand. So, damn, whoever shipped this box, man, golly. This thing went through the ringer, man. Hopefully it works. This thing's all banged up. Anyhow. Alright guys, well this is the Dewalt Nutrunner attachment. If you want a part number or model number, it's the DWANRRIR. So let's see how intuitive this is. Let's open this up. Now who's going to use something like this? Let whoever's going to make jokes about Nutrunner, go ahead and hurry up and make them. But who's going to utilize this attachment? And this is going to be people who are building racks. People that are building racks. Okay, here's the instructions. So this comes off. I'm going to put it on one of my DCF 860s. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, what's your favorite tool brand, Mike? A1 Repair, right on. Mike, what's your favorite tool brand? You know, I better read their instructions before I make a mess. All right. On quality, Black & Decker, that's more household stuff. That's going to be more of your household stuff. Let me go ahead and read the instructions. Mike Chambers says Cobalt in Milwaukee. Well, Mike, Stanley Black & Decker owns DeWalt. Stanley. Now, Stanley acquired Black & Decker, and Stanley acquired DeWalt. So it's Stanley Black & Decker, and DeWalt is their leading construction grade tool. If you want to make jokes about DeWalt being Black & Decker, well, your Milwaukee stuff is Ryobi, homie. So I'd rather rock DeWalt than Ryobi any day. Matthew, thanks for the $2 super chat. Matthew, WWJD though. WWJD, Matthew. WWJD. Thank you for the $2 super chat though. All right, let's see. I don't think... Right on, Pine Tree. Let's go. I don't think this is gonna work with the belt clip on it. I think I'm gonna have to take the belt clip off to make it flush. So it shows it kind of slipping on like a shoe. They get angry, huh, Budsville? That's true, Matthew. All right, man, I didn't put a belt clip on. One of my tools didn't have a belt clip on. I got to take this belt clip off. Wow. Man. I was grabbing my oldest Dewalt DCF 885 and it's got a belt clip on it. Man, all my impacts are gonna have belt clips on it. Oh, I'm just gonna have to take it off. Great. Now, you know what? We're gonna rock my DCF 845. This is the DCF 845. I'm gonna put the Nutrunner on that. Stay there. Belt clip. Don't run away. What's up, JJ? All right, looking at instructions for the 5th time. Okay, so that side pops up. So you're gonna put it like this, and then this is gonna go in, like so. It looks like it just sits in there just like that. Wow, really? Is that it? Is it just largely held on by pressure? Wow, that's actually really easy to put on. Is that really going to keep it stable though? Huh. I guess so. All right, where's that other piece? Pretty intuitive to put on so far. It clips onto this metal bar down here. You need some movement. You need some adjusting. I'm gonna try to get this as straight as possible. That looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and lock that down. Lock that down. You can spin this, get it as straight as possible. Let's go ahead and lock that down. Okay, so you press this button, what happens? See, that's why you always got to read the instructions. All right, let's see, did I follow it? Yep, locked it all down, boom, 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 boom. Okay, swivels. Ah, okay. So that's how you change it with the battery. Insert battery. Swivel that until it opens up. Now we're running a 3/8. Whew, comes in a nice DeWalt case. Comes in a nice Dewalt case right on. All right, let's get out the one for 3/8. So I believe that's going to be the 9/16 head. Yep, 9/16 head. So you slap that in. They got the little ball bearings right there that kind of hold the tool in place. And they have these little divots for the ball bearings to sit in. So you push that through. Yep, there you go. Whew, this thing's pretty quick, man. Golly. Lock it down. All right. So now let's take a trip over here. Shout out to the moderators. Shout out to my brothers on the digital interwebs, the moderators. But look, guys, here we go. This is a Nutrunner attachment, super easy, guys. You unscrew this, this comes apart. You can't have a belt clip on, so you got to take the belt clip off, but you do get your bit attachment on here. Okay, so, oh man, but what am I gonna do? I can only take up one tool. Well, you loosen this up right here. Loosen that up, and then you're able to take this off. Boom, guess what? You have your attachment piece here. I do think it would be quicker though if you use one of your older model impacts. If you use one of your older model impacts to as the Nutrunner, so you don't have to do this over and over. Okay, let's make sure it's nice and straight. So this is my older Dewalt. Dewalt's largely led the game with the tri-beam lights. This is the DCF 845. Woo, you guys hear that? Dude, okay guys, hold on. Before I show you guys the power tools, so this is how you spin it on, right? You can do that. If you're just starting out, you do that. But then the more you do it, you start running it from here all the way past. So you start doing stuff like this. See that? So you look right here. We're about this far, right? Let me show you guys a little something. I can't show you the good stuff right away if you've never seen the hard stuff. So this, when you're running all thread, now why would you do this? Because you're gonna put strut, across. So you gotta put washers, lock rings. You're gonna put strut across, and then you're gonna run your conduits. You see those conduits? You're gonna run your conduits on there. So next time you're up at the grocery store, or you're at the grocery store and you're standing in line, you know how you're gonna tell an electrician or HVAC or plumber? They're gonna be looking up at the ceiling. They're gonna be looking up at the ceiling, judging the tradesmen who did the building. They're gonna be looking up saying, oh, that looks like crap. Oh, I would've did that better. And they're probably talking to their wife, and their wife's like, yeah, sure, honey. And they're like, yeah, I would have did that way better. So I can show you guys how to build racks, how to run your conduit, how to securely strap to racks, how to bend concentric bends on your racks. But for today, this is how, see that? See how it rolls? So when you're in a hurry, you know, you're just trying to get this going, you just go from palm to the tip of your finger, boom. But you see how long this takes? Or another old school way, say you guys don't have one of these yet. I saw this from an old timer. He showed me it. Hold on, let me get a screwdriver. Hold on, guys, let me get a screwdriver. Hey, shout out to the 400 people watching this. God bless you all, man. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Okay, so another way. This is one of my skinny screwdrivers and my compact drill. I don't use neither of these that often. But basically, get your screwdriver. You put it in. Tighten down your drill. Like that. Get it nice and tight. And so you're gonna have to put it on loosening, but it's actually gonna tighten it, okay? See that? You guys see how quick that is? See how much faster that is than this? See how much faster that is than this? Then you gotta loosen it. Oh, dang it, I gotta loosen it. But typically you're gonna cut it to your desired length, and then, you know, hopefully you only gotta do this for a few inches, you know? So, let's loosen this. Let me show you guys what I've gone through for years. Okay, just when you think you're done, nope. So you loosen that, okay? But guess what? You got to use one of your beat up screwdrivers, or else you're going to rip off all the insulation on here. Matthew, you learned that from an old timer, because that's who I learned it from. See, you guys want to hang out with the old timers, and you just, when you're an apprentice, you go hang out with the old timers. Don't go hang out with the people that are young like you, or people that are new like you. You hang out with them sometimes on your break and stuff, but when you go to work, guess what? Go hang out with the old timers. Because if you're young, they're gonna be like, oh dude, I'll show you all the stuff. And you know, be nice and do the work. Get the work done. But if you have attitude and you're trying to size yourself up, they're not gonna want to show you nothing. But you go hang out with the older guys. All right, let's try this for the first time. This is Dewalt Nutrunner attachment. Took about 5 minutes to hook up on the DCF 845. Probably could have done it quicker, but I was on a live stream. So let's just quickly insert this here. Let me move my Dewalt drill out of the way. Okay, so we saw the two actions. Let's do this one more time, guys. Option one, nut for all thread like this. Takes a long time. Option two is, you learn this trick from the old timers. Which isn't a bad budget option. So that goes back. And then here's option three, DeWalt Nutrunner. And that's used all thread. That's used all thread. It had freaking debris all over it. Wow. Look at that. Look how quick that is, guys. Shoo! Dude. Wow. Oh, the bit fell out. So if you start getting all cockeyed on it, the bit will jump out, as you guys just saw. Okay, so that's cool. So if it does jump out, you just pop it back in. Holds in there pretty good. But if you get all cockeyed, it will pop out. That's good it does that so it doesn't strip everything out. So make sure you're nice and steady on here. Take your time setting this up, especially if you're going to keep it that way. Make sure you're nice and straight. You're not cockeyed at all. So this guy needs to go over a little bit. It's a little dog leg. Tristan says I'm broke. Oh, sorry. I misread your comment. Context is key. Yeah, I would say this is probably going to be, this will be worth it. This is about 130 bucks because it's brand new. Now imagine that with the Dewalt. Imagine that with the DCF 860. This is the DCF 845. Ooh, I kind of want to try it with the hydraulic, the DCF 870. How often does one encounter? So, what you utilize all thread for is typically people that utilize all thread is you're building a rack. Now, what's a rack? Let me show you guys something. Give me a second here. Alright, so something like this. So you see that, can you see the strut right there? You can't really see it. But you see how the strut is going across? Strut is this channel to where you can lock EMT in. So you see the strut? EMT is the pipe, the conduit that's going up and down. Strut is going sideways right here. See how it's going sideways? That's strut. And a lot of times what you're going to see suspended from ceilings, how they use that, they use all thread. They use all thread to suspend strut from ceiling. So say, hey man, off that ceiling, you know, off the ceiling, this is a wood, this is garage. But hey man, we got to have our lights or our conduit, our rack, running from the top. Say the top right here is 10 feet. We need the rack to be at 9 feet because the HVAC guys are running their stuff at 8 or 8, 10. So we got to run our stuff at 9 too, and the plumbers are above us, or the HVAC guys, whatever. So you got to find a height that's going to work for you to run all your EMT so that you're not doing up and down, up and down, up and down. Then you got to put a bunch of pull boxes. So basically that's what strut is. Let me find some other examples. So there's a little more. You see that? All that strut going off. How's that strut dangling there? How's all that there? Well, they use all thread. They use all thread to suspend strut. So next time you're up at the grocery store, you're standing in line at Costco or something, take a look up and you'll see all these conduits and stuff. And hey man, what's in these conduits? This is electrical. You see copper lines. Sometimes they're painted though, so you can't really tell. Oh wow, guys, look how quick that is. Remember, old school. Right? And maybe some guys are like, man, you're too slow, get out of my way, let me do it. It's like this. Or maybe you're just quick, you know, I don't know. Right? So I got about that far in, I don't know what, 15 seconds. Right? You could use the drill method. Maybe if you, there you go. You have it in forward if you go this way. All right, and then you do this. Hey, Matthew with another super chat. You guys get it up for Matthew. $2 banger. He said, throw some strut up on there. Show these guys how it's done. I know I got to make a video where I throw up some strut, run a rack, and start bending some conduit and throwing it up, huh? Man, that's quick. Start off slow, you know. Hey, let's try speed 2, you know. Maybe you don't want to make a bunch of noise. That's why I want to try the DCF 87. Let's put on speed 2. Here's speed 2, guys. Ooh. Now let's see. Let's loosen this. Honestly, guys, speed 2 is where you're going to want to be. Speed 2 is where you're going to want to be. That's fast enough, dude. That's fast enough. You guys just saw how fast speed 2 was. That's quick enough, man. All right. So, here's a washer. And let's just do 2 just because. Start our other one. Now let's see if this thing tightens. Hey, not bad, dude. It tightens. Okay, what if you're at a weird angle? Okay, you spin this. Okay, spin. Okay, get that lined up so you can sneak that all thread in there. Oh, can I loosen it from this way? You sure can. Wow, dude. Wow, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat right there. That's better than getting your wrench out. Odium, come on. Odium, I appreciate the comment and engagement. Be careful. You're saying you're a union guy and speed isn't an issue for you, or speed isn't important. Don't set yourself up like that, bro. Don't set yourself up like that. Oh, okay. All right, Matthew, let me see. Oh, my battery. My Dewalt battery. Odium, there's no way, bro. Are you a journeyman or apprentice, bro? You're an apprentice, dude. You're an apprentice. There's no way you're saying that if you're a journeyman. Tell the truth. What year are you? Oh, you're a journeyman? Yeah, I'm in a merit shop. I'm in a merit shop, which is non-union. Let me get a trapeze going. Well, usually you want to use Sammys. Here, let me show you what some Sammys are. My phone is starting to get hot. I had to throw it in the freezer earlier in the stream. Show you guys what some Sammys are. So these things are called Sammys. So these can be connected that way. From the side, you could run some stuff through there. Another picture of a Sammy. Sometimes they're flat. Look at this. This one's a kind of an anchor. But don't pay too much attention to that hole. To that hole right there. Basically what you do is you thread your all thread in. And after you blast your Sammy into the wood right here, you put your Sammy into the wood right there, boom. So you're gonna have different elevations, right? Say you're running your rack here and there. The pitch of the roof goes up like this, so you do one size all thread maybe at 2 feet, and then depending on how wide your rack is, you're gonna have to do this one 3 to 4 feet long, and then you're gonna have your strut going across. Then you get your your level out of there, and you stick it to your strut going across. So basically, I don't have any Sammys to throw up there, and then if I wanted to just that, I'd have to get some strut like this. I'd have to get, this is strut, guys. If this is your first time seeing unistrut, or maybe you guys know unit strut. Maybe you're an apprentice, you're looking for tips and tricks. If any of you guys are apprentices or you're thinking about getting into the electrical, I went through a 5-year commercial apprenticeship. It pays good money. Basically, whatever trade you get into, you can make good money, man. Just work hard and you work yourself up from apprentice to journeyman, lead man, foreman, and you just start running work, man. And your boss will pay you what you're worth. You're making a table out of this stuff? Cool. Right on. So then what do you do when you run your strut? You have your conduits. Your conduits sit right here. So this is a bent piece of conduit. Sometimes you're gonna have a straight piece of conduit like this, and it's gonna run. So EMT, you gotta have strapping. You gotta have it strapped within every 10 feet. If you're coming out of a box, it has to be strapped within 3 feet. But you're gonna have like a bunch of conduits running on a rack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that picture I showed you guys. I'm gonna have to get them. I have some EMT here. I got 1 inch. Oh, I got some strut right here too. This is shallow strut. So shallow strut 7/8. Shallow strut 7/8. This is strut, or some people like to call this deep strut. It's 1 and 5/8, and then your super deep strut is just pretty much double this. But shallow strut, and then there's deep strut, or super deep strut. Let me see. Oh, I got more strut over here. I got more strut. I got some all thread. I'll tell you what, Matthew. I'll make a video of me building a rack. Right on, Raphael. Matthew, you good with that? I'll make a video building a rack. It's gonna take me too long to get all the stuff set up. Kane Needlemeyer. A wild Sparky. Thank you for commenting that beloved comment. A wild Sparky. I am a wild Sparky. Thank you for that beautiful comment. Make video eating tacos, building a rack. Ooh, nice. Taco Tuesday? Do it on a Tuesday? Taco Tuesday? I better get a drink of something. Where's my water at? Been talking for a long time. Taco Tuesday with smoothie. How do you pull wire through conduit? Well, it depends. You got a short little run. You got a little 5-foot run. You just shove that wire in there. Make a nice little head and shove that sucker through. If you're running longer than spans of 5 feet, you're probably gonna need to get a fish tape. You run a fish tape, or you can use a vacuum. You put it onto the end of a conduit, and you could suck a jet line through. You tie a little mouse, not an actual mouse, but like a little plastic bag, and you tie and tape that to your all thread, and you suck that through the conduit. Then if you're pulling some bigger stuff, you got to get some meal tape, and you pull that through. Guzzle that water. Can you guys hear that pretty loud? I got two waters. I'm sorry, not 2 waters. I got 2 fans. All right, so let's get this Nutrunner attachment. Let's try this little funky setup right here. Maybe you're coming back and you're doing service work. See, let's loosen it. Dang it, we gotta raise this thing up. We gotta raise this thing up a whole nother foot. Dang it. So there you go, you come over here. Boom, you raised up 1 flat already. Tighten it down. Call it good. Boom. What's up, Ollie? For those of you that care, I honestly don't really like being called Sparky, because a lot of times when people say Sparky, it's a way to try to put down another tradesman. Like, oh, those are just drywallers, or those are just plumbers, or those are just Sparkies. You know, those are just HVAC guys, those are just concrete guys. So I'm someone, like, I don't like being called Bud. Call me by my name. I'm an electrician. Like, what would be a disrespectful way to call a doctor, you know? Oh, they just want your money, you know? I tried to see people for who they are and not a stereotype. So, like, some people think it's funny to stereotype people, and maybe you're around a bunch of people that stereotype and joke around like that, but I like trying to be a little bit a step above, you know? I want to treat people the way I want to be treated, you know? Some people don't care. Some people don't care how they're treated because they don't care about themselves and they don't care about other people, you know? But every time I speak to someone, I want to speak life into them, you know? So when I talk to someone, I want to, you know, shake their hand. Hey, what's up, man? My name's Christian. I'm an electrician. Here, you know, this is what I'm doing. I'm not going to be like, oh, freaking, what's up, plumber? Or what's up, HVAC guy? Oh, you're just a concrete guy. You know what I mean? That's disrespectful. We need all the trades. So no, it's not necessarily derogatory, just like buddy's not derogatory. It's not equated to being derogatory. It's just, I would rather talk to someone and get to know their first name, who they are as a person. Like, and say someone's an apprentice, right? I'm a journeyman talking to another journeyman, and I see his apprentice and I just go, hey, bud. You know, anyways, back to the journeyman talking to the journeyman, blah, 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 blah. You know, how does that make him feel? So, and how do I know? Because I've been that person. Where some people, they just see you as like, oh, you're just a little guy. You're just a little bud, you know? And so I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. So, and you can vibe with that. And maybe there's like 2 people who disagree with me that, who are very vocal. You know, those are just my opinions. What's up, Matthew? How's it going, man? Happy Friday night. Oh, I didn't even see your continuing comments, Kane. Are you the one that said that? Bro, you didn't say Sparky, you said Wild Sparky. I'm just talking out loud. What tool is that? So this is a Dewalt Nutrunner attachment. This is for all thread. So it does tighten up to 100 pounds, 100 foot-pounds. So that's pretty decent. That's all you really need, really, especially if you got some lock rings on here. Well, Kane, it is a real trade. Kane, I'm shaking your hand digitally. Here we go. Digital Air 5, Kane. Come on, put your hand out, Kane. You gotta believe it, Kane. Put your hand out, Kane. Put it up in the air. Come on, do it. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Lead floor tech. Not only or a lead flood tech. Not only are you a flood tech, you're a lead flood tech. And as far as floods go, I know I definitely appreciate people stopping floods, and I know there's a lot of people and a lot of equipment who appreciate those who stop floods. So that is a real trade. Do I think it's worth getting into Dewalt? Absolutely, man. I've tried out thousands of dollars of Milwaukee, Dewalt, excuse the mess, guys, but I just have tools basically everywhere. I clean up. I try to clean up on the weekends, but been sick since Wednesday. Starting to feel better, that's why I'm live. But I've tested Milwaukee, I tested Flex, and I tested DeWalt. If you're new here, consider subscribing and you're gonna see how much I talk about DeWalt. DeWalt is an American tool company, whereas Flex and Milwaukee, they're both owned by China. Flex has zero manufacturing in the US, and it's owned by China. Milwaukee's owned by China. It has some manufacturing in the US, but largely overseas. It's owned by TTI, and they own Dirt Devil and Ryobi, and they license tools for Rigid, but they only have 18 factories here. Stanley Black & Decker has 50 manufacturing plants here in America, and guess what? They're owned by America. So that's why I always push DeWalt tools, and they're coming out with super cool specialty tools. Like this is for deburring conduit. So as an electrician, I cut EMT, rigid every single day, PVC when I'm doing underground, but I cut conduit like that every single day. And this is a specialty tool. This is a specialty tool attachment. This is a Nutrunner, and DeWalt is killing it on that, making these specialty tools. So there's that. They make some of the strongest hammer drill, impact drivers, impact wrenches, mid torque, high torque. You know, they're just killing it right now. So you know how to bend pipe? I sure hope so. I sure hope as a foreman electrician I know how to bend some conduit. I sure hope this foreman electrician knows how to bend conduit. Was that Dewalt for, yeah. K&P Electric. Oh, what's up, man? You're an electrician? Yeah, so look, check it out. Did you see the Nutrunner? K&P Electric. Did you see the Nutrunner already? Hold on, guys. I gotta answer this comment. Another electrician. Electrical contractor, actually. Yeah, you saw that? It's pretty tight, huh? And that was in speed 2. I didn't have it on speed 3. Speed 3 is pretty fast. But speed 2, and that all thread, you know when the drywallers come in and spray and do all their texturing and all that kind of stuff. Well, my name's Christian, and I'm an electrician, but I am also a Christian as well. So yeah, I'll show you the pipe deburring tool. So here we go. So this one's going to be the DCE 710 or DCE 710. So basically you get your bandsaw. This is my little baby atomic. I got the deep cut and the mid. I got the mid in the truck because that's my favorite one. 3.75 cut capacity. This one only has about a, I don't know, 2 inch and 7/8. So let's cut some conduit, 3/4 right here. After you cut it, so there's an inside. This is the DCE 710. It's got some PVC in there. But basically, it has like this little cone. You guys see that cone? And then right here, it has the reaming or the deburring little blade in there. Okay, so you start off with that. You do the inside. I'm rocking speed 3. It has speed 1, speed 2 if you need lower RPM. So boom. When you use a bandsaw, you don't have to deburr much, but not bad. Pretty damn straight. Pretty good to run wire through. Everything's deburred. So real quick, one more time. So you start with the cone for the inside, then you flip it out, and then you ream the outside. Yeah, it's a reamer. It's a deburring tool. You can use it for copper, PVC, EMT. I think they call it black pipe. Stuff the pipe fitters use. Black iron, stainless. What's up, Robert? Model number DCE 710. DCE 710. Now this thing's not the most quickest RPM, but it does what it's supposed to do. This is thin wall or electrical metallic tubing. This is the thinner stuff. If you ever need to change the blade out, it's just 2 set screws right here on this side. You change out the set screw here and the center. Just read the instructions. But when it comes to these, to those just tuning in, I'm looking at 2 Dewalt tools. I got a free battery when I bought this off, I think it was, I can't remember who. Ace, and maybe this was off Acme. Something like that. But they gave me a free battery, so that's why I bought it off them. It was a little discounted and I got a free battery. So when it comes to this Nutrunner attachment and this deburring tool, these are not one of the first tools you get. These are tools that you get over time, and these are specialty tools. So when you've learned how to do it manually, when you've learned how to figure out some tips and tricks, and you get something like this in this day and age, in this innovative day and age, you could start using stuff like this. And boy, is it easier. I mean, this is going to make me run racks so much quicker than usual. That's insane. I really can't wait to bust that out on the job site and just be like, brrrah, brrrah. What trade school did I go through, Luis? I went through WECA, Western Electrical Contractors Association. WECA, it's on the West Coast. Well, it's like it's a state approved apprenticeship. So it's not necessarily like a. Oh, looks like we lost connection for a second. It's not a for-profit. It's a state approved apprenticeship, so it's all employer paid. I didn't owe nothing. In fact, I walked out with like a $20,000 pension, which was pretty cool. I didn't really put any money in it. I always took all my money home because I like to use my money the way I want to use my money, and so basically, it's a cool 5-year program, man. Your DCD 778 drill and my 787 impact driver. What do I think of those two Dewalt tools? Is that a 20 volt? Are those 20 volt tools or 12 volt? Yeah, Luis, I done solar panel work. But I've only helped pass up panels and that kind of stuff. You know, probably plugged in a couple of them. But I've wired up Teslas, Tesla Powerwall 3s, Tesla Powerwall 2s, Franklin batteries, solar inverters, all sorts of stuff like that. Panel swap outs, driving ground rods. I've done the solar gig for a little while. They pay good money, man. They pay good money, but they're not necessarily known for following the National Electric Code. So I've mostly done commercial work. I've done some industrial. Nice. You did some off-grid installs, Matthew. Be careful. All right, 20 volt. So those tools are the atomic. They're either the atomic or those are really older tools. So $100 in photovoltaics. Okay. So what are you in? Are you in a trade school? Paying money for that trade school? You have your C19. Dennis, what's a C19? A C10 in California is a electrical license. What's a C19? I'm not familiar with that. How to start what, Ali? Hey, there you go. Man, you got brownie points too right there, Raphael. Hooked her up with the TV. You used studs though, right? COVID-19. Telling you guys, I tested positive on Wednesday, man. Yeah, those are older. So what you're gonna want to get, I don't know, how do I say your name? Matthew? Did I say that right? Matthew? Or is it just Matthew? Matthew? Do I have a miter saw? No, I don't. Oh, then we have regular Matthew from Australia. Oh, right on, Raphael. But how do you say your name, Matt? Is it Matthew? Is it Matthew? Say, put 1 for Matthew or put Matthew for 2. Matthew for 1 or Matthew for 2. I like to call people by their real name. So anyways, when it comes to impact drivers and hammer drills, you're going to want to get a newer one. So maybe you can get them both in one kit. Actually, you can't right now. They're brand new. But you're going to want to get the DCF 860. Are you using your tools a lot? Oh, right on, Matthew. Thanks for taking care of your grandpa, man. Oh, French Canadian, right on. Yeah, I could see the French in your name. That's why I was trying my best to be like Mathieu, but I don't know how to speak French. Abram Friedman, Occupational Center. Raphael, you got to ask Raphael that. Raphael, have you heard of that? What's up, car guy? Okay, for DIY, yeah, just use it for DIY. But if you want the absolute best, you're gonna want the DCF 860. And this is the DCF 860. But this is their fastest right here. And then their hammer drills, the DCD 1007. That's their full size. What's up, Benito? Benito. I saw your comments earlier. It's actually just kind of fun to just, wow, so much power right there. But Matt, what you're gonna want to do is 18 months for real. Psh, I've had that longer than 18 months, home slice. I got my first impact from Dewalt. It wasn't that great 4 years ago. They've been doing good. Hey, Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Gen 3 only had one light on it. The Milwaukee Gen 3 only had one light. They copied DeWalt and they got the tri-light. They got the 3 lights on the impact. So a lot of tools were different 4 years ago. I've been rocking DeWalt longer than that. You know who hasn't been American owned for the last 20 years? Milwaukee. Milwaukee sold to China 20 years ago. What's up, Adelaide? Yeah, Luis said it. All right, Dima. Thank you for copy and pasting that. I appreciate you. I saw your comment. Shanaka? What's up, Shanaka? Oh, you have a hammer drill? Yeah, DCD 1007 is the flagship top model. If you need a smaller one, get the DCD 806. So what the DCD 806 has is it has anti-rotation. So back in the day when you would use a hammer drill or something like that, you know, 4 years ago or whatever, they didn't have this. This is anti-rotation. So back in the day, you'd be doing some work. You'd be doing some work, and man, you hit a knot or you bind up or you're going a little crooked and it catches. Dude, all this motion right here on your wrist, just look at my wrist. Just turning all on your wrist right there while you're trying to drill. I was always that guy. I was always that guy to put my freaking auxiliary handle on. You know, the handle that goes on the side and you hold it tight. I would do that because I hurt my wrist. I hurt my wrist bad one day. I was like, ah. And I couldn't really put pressure on my wrist for like a day or two, you know? So after doing that a couple times, I'm just like, heck no. Everybody's just like, no, just grab it. And then next thing you know, you just hear it falling. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the heck? So then I just would use my auxiliary handle. Boom. And that way, if I caught something, I would be able to use my muscles to stop it. Boom. You know, or at least mitigate a full twisting like that. Ah. But nowadays, you have auxiliary or you have anti-rotation. So I don't know. Some people say this may be, it's not worth it to have anti-rotation. For me, your wrist costs more than $200. So I'm grateful that even the smaller stuff, this is a DCD 806. It'll stay red until you press the trigger again. So you can spin this thing. You can spin this thing. You just can't jerk it like this. They want you to be in control. So when they're making this thing in the factory and all that kind of stuff, they're fine-tuning it. They're not just slapping a part in there and going. They're fine-tuning it. And when you're working right and you got some pressure on it and you catch something, hey, I'm glad it stops right there. See, I'm still in control. But when it gets out of control, it's going to kick off. So to me, it works fine. It works fine for me. The DCD 1007 has anti-rotation. It works fine for me. I literally use these tools every day. Not so much the mid-size. I use the DCD 1007 a lot. What's up, Rob? Fresno? We got the Fresno Bulldogs over here, guys. The college team. Calm down, guys. Calm down. Perro. That is so funny. We just talked about dogs. Matthew, thank you for the $2 super chat banger. Appreciate you, bro. You guys got to go. It's getting about that time, guys. I got to go inside as well. I got to hang out with the family. Hey, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, man. He's truly blessed me, man. All I could do is give all the honor and glory to God. He really changed my life. And for you guys, you know, you're on this Friday night and you're just at home chilling or whatever you're doing. Maybe you're watching from Australia, just all over the world. I just hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I'll probably go live again Saturday, tomorrow. But we'll see. But I love you guys, man, and I hope you guys have a blessed night. So I just wanted to say a quick prayer. Yeah, I'm gonna dip out. I hope you guys all have a blessed night. And Father God, I just want to just pray over everyone that they would have a fun, safe weekend. And Lord, that as they rest this weekend or try to find some rest, or maybe they're just working hard or working 2 jobs or 3 jobs, maybe they're just trying to figure things out. Lord, I pray that you would give them peace and guidance in the midst of whatever they're facing, God. You can calm any storm, Lord. So I pray that no matter what anyone's going through, that they wouldn't worry and that they would just pray about everything and trust you to lead and guide them. Because, God, I can say for following you this last decade and a half, it hasn't been easy. It's been hard. And I've went through even more difficult stuff. But you know what? I was on a firm foundation because I trusted in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. So I just pray for my friends here on this digital community, this digital platform. I just pray that you would bless them, Lord. May they just see you, God, this weekend and know that you're the one true King, and that if we accept you, we're going to dwell with you in heaven forever, Lord. So we're all sinners. We all make mistakes. We all need a Savior. Thank you for saying that, hey, it takes perfection to get to heaven, and I know you can't make it, so I'm going to send Jesus to come die in your place. And you died in our place, God, and I thank you for that. You set the standard, but then you filled the standard. And now we just accept you, Lord, as our Lord and Savior, and we get to go to heaven with you. So I love you, and I praise you, God, for that. And I pray for all my friends on here and for them to accept you, Lord. And I pray for my brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, because when we become followers of Jesus Christ, we become brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ. So I want to pray for all my brothers and sisters on here who have made you their Lord and Savior. Encourage them, Lord. Help them, God, to continue to fulfill the Great Commission. Thank you for all my brothers, the moderators on here, my Christian brothers. I pray that you would just continue to bless them, Lord, in their work and all that they do. Lord, if they're resting this weekend or if they're working this weekend, God, may you just be with them and encouraging them. I pray for me to continue to heal up as I go back to work on Monday. And I just pray that I would have rest over this weekend, Lord, and that you would heal me. And I just love you and praise you. In Jesus' name, amen. Love you guys. It's always good to hang out with you guys. Oh, Taco Tuesday. Are we doing it? Are we setting a date for Taco Tuesday? Taco Tuesday and strut install. All right. Okay, Lord willing. Oh, we got the OG. Triple OG. Seth in the house. Seth, you know sometimes I forget stuff, right?
Yeah.
Can you remind me to do a strut install on Tuesday? It's this right here. I got to put some strut on this. All right? All right. Yeah, he's my oldest. He's 8 years old. Going into 4th grade. He skipped a grade.
Hey, Ponch.
Say what's up, Ponch. Say what's up, everybody. Hey, show him your biceps, dude. Hey, check out Seth's biceps, guys. Show him your biceps, Seth. Woo! Dude, look at his bicep. Dude. Look at it one more time. Show him that definition. Dude. Bro, he's been working out, man. Root beer float Friday? Ooh, that sounds good, man. Heck yeah. He's been putting in that work.
It's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. You want to say goodnight to everyone?
Good night, everybody.
Anything you want to say to them? you had one thing to say to them, what would you say?
I can screw a bit.
Huh?
I freaking screw last bit.
Oh, you want to screw something in? You want to use the DCF 860, Flex, Milwaukee, Hercules?
I'll do Dewalt.
You want to use Dewalt?
Please.
Alright, let me get you a battery.
Bye, Punch.
That's a T25. Almost set you up for failure. Here's a T30. Alright guys, Seth's gonna drive this screw. Make sure you wash your hands after.
What? Yeah.
Ready? Alright. Good job. DCF 860. Inch by 5/16. Christian electrician and family signing off. God bless you guys. I'll probably go live tomorrow. See you guys. Peace.
What top fans?
Top fans. Matthew from Australia. Punch number 2. Odium number 3. Budsville number 4. Raphael number 5. Dennis King number 6. Berg, California number 7. Oh, you work for Berg? You work for the Marishah Berg? Right on. Biggest non-union electrical contractor. Number 8, Sakri Dro. Number 9, the Buff American guitarist. And number 10, Ganesh Dakel.
Ganesh,
Alright. Love you all. God bless you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Peace. Shout out to Cali. Shout out to everyone else in the United States. We're all family out here. Love you guys.